Ladies and gentlemen, it is the King and I Life podcast with your boy, Soul Touch of the Poet, and my brother.
Sounds so Lex up in this thing.
You know. And I know y'all know. We done talked about it before in different topics and on specifics, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about your boy, Mr. Trump.
Donald Day or Donald J. Trump if you're nasty.
Yeah. So, of course, everybody knows that he got indicted, which includes them, reading off his charges, him getting arrested, read his rights, no mugshots, no handcuffs, but the rigmarole. So I'm gonna let Son Solex kick it off because I'm interested in what you have to say, and I want to come in after you to respond to whatever you say. Then I want to say what I want to say, and we gonna do it. So let's get it.
You kind of put me on the spot right there. It's all good though.
Yes.
It's all good. Okay, so as you all know, I'm not the biggest uh, political fan. Um, I don't go for the red or the blue. Um, but I can respect an honest racist. What it comes down to. I don't agree with this man's personal views. I do feel that he is racist to a certain degree. Um, but that being aside, when he was in the White House, I did have a little more change in my pockets. I'll be honest. But with that being said, um, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. To be
Which
honest
part?
with you, them actually arresting this man.
Okay.
I think that Donald Trump has a whole lot of power when it comes down to voting. And they like, you know what? Instead of taking a chance of your ass getting back in the White House, let's cut your ass off at the knees right now, son.
Mm.
Because they know they boy Biden is fucking up. He's fucking up major league as far as I'm concerned. But hey, that's just my personal opinion. So anyway, I just think there are a bunch of pardon the pun, trumped up charges. They're just something they know they can't make them stick. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fuck up your run to going back in the White House in the next election. So this is gonna be a nice distraction to keep you off of your political game. And there you have it. That's how I feel about it.
Mm. I will say, I don't think they're trumped up charges. I think they are the easiest charges that they can make stick. Um, the problem that I have is that it took so long for them to charge him, and that he was able to skate through all the way to be president without this stuff affecting his ability to be elected as president. Um, I'm glad you brought up racist because I had been thinking about that as a topic in relation to Trump. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because my thing is this: who isn't racist in this entire world, and how stupid racism is? Like, racism is one of the dumbest concepts known to man, in my opinion. Um, as far as him having power, in
Mm.
becoming president, president really doesn't have that much power. And I say that because if you compare democracy to other forms of government, the president is just the figurehead. Yes, they title the president of the United States the most powerful person on the planet, but that joker really don't have that much power when you really break it down. Because most of the laws and stuff that get passed, whatever, have to go through Congress. Yes, the president can make uh what do they call them?
Vetoes,
No. The president
bills,
can make president
policies.
got no, it's presidential something that he can do, but it can also get overturned by Congress. And yes, the president can veto some of the stuff that, Congress does. But um for instance, when you compare the president of the United States to some person like Vladimir Putin, president ain't got that much power. And you got to look, Russians they don't have a two-party system. They just don't. So they're communists. So they have that one person, and he says this is what it is. That's what it is. But back to this Trump guy. Um, I'm just curious to see how this all plays out because they're talking about this going to trial thing in January 2024.
Yeah. Uh, when has it become illegal to pay off someone to keep their mouth shut, especially when it's a signed contract, basically a non-disclosure form, or it's another terminology, but either way, I'm just paying you to keep your mouth shut about our relationship. Sign contract. So yeah, that's now illegal, even though it's legal.
Well, it's illegal when you use campaign funds. That's when it's illegal. And that's
Mm.
what he's accused of doing. So it's like that is like if you're in a relationship with someone and you go mess up some money and then you take money from bills to go pay your mess up and then your significant other be like, well, why'd you do that? And then you lie about it and try to cover it up, and then when they find out the truth, you in trouble. That's pretty much what that is.
Mm. Sounds like a believable lie to me. That's what that sounds like to me. But hey, it is what it is. Um, I just find it laughable that, again, out of all the BS Trump did before he even got in office, everybody's turning the other head to it, especially the news outlets. Um, and let's be honest here. Trump wasn't the best president, and I'm not saying he was. I'm not even saying he's even in the top what 30. Um, I can't even rank him. But anyway, I just think that it is mighty convenient. You tried to impeach this man those times and came up short. Um, I'm not going to say that this last election was totally honest. I can't say if he won or lost. But what I can say is if you can't see through the smoke and mirrors here, it is definitely by choice. Like I said, I just feel like if he was to run again, he'd damn near be a shoe in. I think. I mean, everywhere I go, I that's all I see is freaking Donald Trump signs and Trump for what is it? Is it 2024?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so on and so forth. They even got people still out here selling them Donald Trump flags and having their little um, side road displays of selling his flags and hats and T-shirts. I mean, you name it, it's for sale, and people still buying that shit. So that goes to tell you that you can say whatever you want to about him, even though he's still not in office. He's still probably the most popular presidential person, probably within the last few presidents, I would think. But anyways, not making any excuses for him. Just shit I noticed.
Well, he's gonna be the most popular because he's the most controversial. Um, and
I
a
could
lot
agree with
of people identify with his nonsense. Um, as far as him being a shoe in, I don't think so. Um, one of my coworkers was saying, and this is the one thing that you got to do. That people have to do is, pay attention to what's going on, because a lot of people don't like him. And when I say a lot of people don't like him, it's a lot of people with influence that don't like him. Because, yeah, I see a lot of Trump flags and this, that, and the other all over the place. People still on social media and whatever, whatever. Hell, I still see Obama bumper stickers all over the place. Um, but as far as him being a shoe in, I don't think so. Um, I'll put it like this. There's a lot of people out there who don't exercise common sense and logic appropriately in their everyday life. And I was thinking about this earlier today, ironically. Trump is like a pastor of
Okay.
a black church. And
this
I
is beautiful
say
right
that,
here.
huh?
I said this is beautiful right here. That's a damn good, accurate depiction of him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but let me tell you why I say that.
All right.
Because if you ever been to a black church, or not even just a black church, a mega church, like what's his dude name in Texas, Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
So let's compare Trump to a black church or a mega church.
Okay.
Mega churches, black churches got mad money. Jokers is driving, $300,000 cars. They got, mansions. They got jewelry. They got this, and they always asking for your money in reference to the Lord. Amen out there. Trump, by all definition out there, is a billionaire. Why are you asking people to donate to your legal fees? You're a billionaire and you're asking jokers that are living check to check for donations for your legal fees. Help me understand. So some of the smoke and mirrors out there is the smoke and mirrors that people create because they need a savior. Amen.
Church. I would agree with that. But here's the thing. People are sending this man money.
Just like people go to church every day and give their money.
They are sending it in by the boatloads.
Yes, they are.
Like, I ain't talking about no damn cigarette butt pail here. I'm talking about actual cruise ship boats.
Yes, they are.
Mega yachts here. I can't hate him on that. You know what I'm saying? If I could spend somebody else's money instead of spending my own money like that, you goddamn right I'm gonna spend it. But anyway, that's what wealthy people do. They don't spend their own money, they spend other people's money. They hold on to their own money. So I get that part. But the crazy part about it is, I mean, there are people out here who love Donald J. Trump. I mean, they like, I'll take a bullet for you. But I guess it's one of those things of he's their knight in shining white armor. And again, let's just be real about it. When he says, let's make America great again, you can take that any way you want to. But certain people, you know, we get who he's really trying to make America great again for. But anyway, I'll get off that. I don't know. I just find it interesting that these people will spend their damn last dollar to send in to help him with his legal fees. Like, your lights are about to be cut off. What you doing? You got that much love and respect for this man who's a billionaire that you will spend your last dime, nickel, penny to support him with legal fees? That's crazy to me.
It is crazy, but that goes to show that people will cut off their nose to spite their face. And this is part of the reason why we have a problem with politics in this country. This is part of the problem why we have a problem with religion in this country. This is part of the problem why we have a problem in our communities. People latch on to the newest thing and they'll hold on to it until the wheels fall off. And it's like they get so blinded by this new thing that they kind of get hypnotized by it because they identify with it so much and they think that, oh, this is it. Because you notice before he was running for president, well, let me back up. When he ran for president the first time, nobody was on him like that. When he ran the second time and he became a shoo-in and he started showing out and doing all this extra stuff, people was like, oh, that's our guy. Let's get on him. And that's what it was. Because you got to look at it like this. When he was running for president, he talked about Ted Cruz's wife. He talked about his father. He talked dirty about a lot of people. And then when he became president, they were swinging all his nutsacks. And it's like, you have to help me understand how this person said all this ignorant stuff about you unapologetically, and then when he comes in, he's your guy, and then you're all on his, oh, he's our guy, and then they overlook the BS that he was doing, but want to criticize other people for doing far less than the nonsense that he was doing. So for me, it's like, again, they just latch on to the next best thing until it dies out.
I could agree with that. Um, Here's one thing though, when it comes down to this political arena that they have us in, where it's only a two-party race. And it's been that way for many of years. Um, Again, I just feel like this is just a game for them. They'll bullshit, with the public and bash on the other party, all in the public's eye, but behind closed doors, they're like, "What's up, Jack? What's up, man? That was a good one right there. Appreciate that, bud. Yeah, you bashed me pretty good on that one, but I know it's all love." They're all playing the same game behind closed doors. Like, I'll be honest with you. I think this whole thing is just a big freaking distraction. Watch what my right hand is doing. Don't pay attention to my left hand. Just keep watching my right hand. Because this thing with Trump is every goddamn where. Like, you can't turn on the news without hearing this man's name. So if you hear this man's name, what the hell are they doing behind these closed doors and these backroom meetings? What's really going on? Because if everybody's paying attention to Donald Trump, they haven't noticed that there's pretty much going to be a new world currency.
What new world currency?
Look at the superpower of Russia, China. What other country? There's a few countries on the African continent that have joined this world. I guess you can say, gonna be superpowers, supergroup, however you want to call them. But everyone is starting to drop the US dollar as the world's currency. If you think I'm bullshitting, well, look it up.
That's because the problem with that is, from what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
from what I've looked up, and from what I paid attention to, it's this global economy shit. So, but and that is really not like smoke. It's not even behind the scenes. It's right there in your face. You the thing that people need to pay attention to when it comes to that. Like, you got China investing a lot in Africa, in all over Africa, where the United States could have and should have been doing that. You got Russia and China, buddy buddy. You have China with a large investment in United States companies. You have North Korea over there doing their thing. You have the countries of NATO doing all their thing. So none of this is a secret. I mean, yes, Trump is in the headlines. Ron DeSantis is in the headlines. All this other stuff is in the headlines. But if you watch the right channels at the right time, or look up the right stuff at the right time, none of this is a damn secret. It's right there. Just like the United States buys oil from Russia. It's not a secret. Um, you know, again, United States has a lot of trade deals with China. It's not a secret, but the problem is, and this is what I don't like about how things go, is you know the entire world has this thing of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or the the friend of my friend is my enemy. It's so interchangeable in this world that it's ridiculous that it gets exhausting. And a lot of us only have the mental energy to look at a little bit of it and be like, you know what, I'm either tired of this, or oh, it's something going on over here, oh, I see this, I see that. But it's exhausting to really look at everything that's going on out here in the world. um One of the things that and another thing that always pissed me off about, then I'll let you get your rock on, um is like when it comes to military stuff. Again, we got allies here, enemies there, we cool here, we definitely hate them over there, but we're sharing so much technology that you can't say that this person over here, who I'm supposed to be cool with, is not sharing the same thing with somebody that I hate. So it's not a secret. This stuff is there every day. And all you got to do is just sit back and look at. We get blinded with the bullshit that we don't pay attention to the obvious. That's my thing. And Trump is not the obvious. Trump is the bullshit. So people pay attention to the bullshit and they overlook the obvious that's staring right there in their face.
Okay. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to bring up a little more information for you all. So again, this is, let me see, for lack of a better website, Fox Business. But Russia, China may be preparing a new gold-backed currency, but expert assures U.S. dollar safest currency today. Okay. China in July purchased 80.1 tons of gold valued at 4.6 billion. Oh, I'm trying to get you
From where?
more. They didn't say where. Okay, so China. Oh, okay. But, that's a bunch of hogwash. Okay, so let me read the snippet. The record amount of gold that China has purchased has raised some eyebrows, even as the trend remains under the radar for mainstream media. Swiss gold exports to China hit a 5-year high, with Beijing in July alone received 80.1 tons of gold value at around 4.6 billion, more than double the 32.5 tons it bought in June, and the second highest monthly total since 2012, according to Reuters. Reuters, if I'm
Reuters.
saying that correctly. But international finance statistics from March 2022 indicate that China may have the seventh most gold stores, with more coming every month. I'm not going to read that. That's not important. Um, anyway, to make a long story short, China and Russia have formed this partnership. And again, they have other countries joining in with them. And does this mean that they're going to take over the world currency overnight? No, highly doubtful. But with their combined resources and plus their money being backed by gold, where our money is not backed by anything except for the paper is on, that makes a difference. So, no, it's not hidden information, but I would definitely be more talkative or trying to find out more information about that than what's going on with Donald Trump. So, thus, this is where you have the smoking mirrors. Again, pay attention to my right hand, don't pay attention to my left. But sooner or later, that's going to become an issue for the US dollar. And again, I'm no expert, but I damn sure got plenty of common sense. So, again, while we're up here talking about Mr. Trump and these allegations at this point, we better be paying attention to what's going on around the world. There's a lot going on, and we are being distracted by what's going on the borders or on the inside of our borders. But
Well, the thing about that is most Americans don't care about what's going on around the world.
that's
And
true. That is
that's
true.
that is the problem.
True.
And that covers a whole bunch of stuff. People don't care about what's going around the world until it's knocking at our door.
Mm-hmm.
But then you still have to take into account how much the US owns in gold, how much Canada owns in gold, how much any of our allies own in gold. As far as China and Russia taking over the world currency, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. But who am I? I'm just the average fucking dude. But at the end of the day, you know, greed is a problem all over the world. I think part of the problem with America is the greed is so individualistic. It's not it's not a unified greed because when I look at it, when countries here, I mean not countries, companies here, um, corporations and stuff, they want to take the corporation out of America and send it to places like China and all these other places, um, so they can keep more money in their pocket. They can pay less in salaries and charge much more to import what they manufacture outside. That's part of the problem, and that's one reason why I don't see Russia and China taking over the world currency because it's too much going on for them to do that. Now, the other thing that you have to factor in is if they become that much of a problem, something's going to be done about it militarily. So
Wait a
that's
minute.
another reason why I don't think
Hold on now. Hold
they're
on
going to
now.
have a world currency because, again, yes, I agree with you. People is paying attention to Trump, this, that, and the other, but there's a lot of backdoor stuff going on that we may hear about, but there's a lot that we don't know about. But it's not secret. It's just people don't invest that type of time in it, and it does not make money for news channels to broadcast that stuff. People don't want to hear, oh well, China is buying up all this gold and Russian. People don't want to hear that shit. Because if they put all that on the news like that, people turn that shit off. They don't want to hear that. They just don't want to hear it.
Well, let's hit the rewind button here a little bit. You said if China and Russia, let's say, were to come to the forefront. I know those aren't your exact words, but in a nutshell, that's what you're getting at. There may be some military kickback.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to explain a little bit further about exactly what you meant with that?
So look at it like this. Russia is trying to take the Ukraine. China is trying to take Taiwan. NATO, which includes United States and other allies, are keeping Russia from taking Ukraine. We're keeping China from taking Taiwan. Why are they trying to take these countries or these lands? To increase their footprint around the world. Finland just joined NATO. Russia was pissed about that and they threatened to take action. Well, they're threatening to take action. Sweden is trying to join NATO. Turkey and some other country is blocking that at the moment. So when you look at it from that, and plus, not to mention, Russia has threatened with nuclear, aggression. So when you look at all of these things that's going on, are they really that bold, or are they really that crazy, or are they throwing up smoke and mirrors and bluffing? It could be any of those at any given time. But the thing about it is, with this global economy and everybody being connected and this, that, and the other, it's not going to go down like that. If it was that serious, like seriously, if it was that serious, you would not have Russian diplomats in America, and you would not have Chinese diplomats in America. You wouldn't have American diplomats in Russia, and you wouldn't have American diplomats in China. It's like, why am I going to sit my people over here when there's a threat of whatever that could happen? And why would I want their people over here when they can do anything to get at us? So, yeah, fuck shit is going to happen on any front. But at the end of the day, there's so many backdoor conversations going on that the imbalance in the world, in currency and this, that, and the other, is going to be balanced on an imbalanced scale. Nobody is going to have complete leverage over anyone else because of these goddamn relationships between different countries that are there that we really don't know the depth of.
All right. I get where you're coming from. Let me ask you this, though. You said that you don't believe anyone's that crazy or that bold to push the goddamn button. That part is the scary part.
It is scary. Very, very.
Do I believe someone's that damn crazy? I damn sure believe somebody's that crazy.
Nah, it ain't that crazy.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that the next world war is not going to be anything like what we think it's going to be.
Hell, don't worry for that matter.
The technology that I know the U.S. has, and again, I'm not going to speak on what things I do know of.
The shit that you know,
they got some shit.
Google knows a lot more than what me and you can talk about.
Yeah, like they really got some hot shit. And I'm sure other countries around the world have their own, secret technologies, but some of the stuff the U.S. has is whoa. But anyway, the point that I'm making here is not going to be anything like what people think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of foot soldiers and invading this place and invading that place.
Of course not. That ain't no secret.
Yeah. I'm gonna get off of that subject though. I'm gonna get off that subject before I have people. We need to talk to you.
Oh no, you don't even have to go that deep with it, because I mean, when you look at it, yes, we have a lot of technology. There's a lot of technology across the world, but
right,
a lot of stuff that's being done is being done with basic stuff. For instance, those Chinese balloons that was flying all around the world. Look at it like this. That was a threat, for lack of better term. That was a threat, a whole threat. You know, they got balloons flying over, taking pictures of military bases and this, that, and the other. We could have easily took that as an act of aggression. Easily took that as an act of aggression and did something. The Russian planes that were harassing our drone that was flying over international waters. We could have took that as a form of aggression and done something about it. Some of the drones that's being used in Ukraine, they could be bought on a Chinese website for like $15,000. I looked them up. So yeah, as the world and technology progresses, technology is a hell of a thing. You don't have to have a lot of people on the ground, but you got to think, if China or Russia launched a nuclear weapon up in the sky, then you got all these countries that's going to launch nuclear weapons. And it's simple as that.
That's gonna be a whole lot of damn nuclear gumbo.
That's why I don't think anybody is that stupid or that crazy to push the button.
No.
That's like saying I'm bad enough to walk in front of a dump truck that's driving down the street at 35 miles an hour and see what's going to happen. That's how I look at that.
Yeah. But some of them out there that think they Superman though.
Somebody's yeah. Just like people who jump off bridges to commit suicide while they going down, they say, man, I wish I didn't do that. Shit.
Now
the thing about nuclear weapons, though, you got to sit back and think, if I push this button, I might get one or two off, but damn, what's going to come at me after that? So I don't think anybody's that crazy. I just don't.
It's a very debatable topic.
Oh, very debatable. Yeah.
But anyway, I'll come back on topic. I'm just simply saying that even though Trump, has a whole lot of power behind him, whether that be political or money wise, again, I think at the end of the day, he's going to walk away. For whatever reason, I think he's going to walk away. And again, by the time he walks away, the presidential election is going to be long gone behind us. So they can't stop him. They just want to slow him down. That's what I think.
But here's the thing. And I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. But the other thing about that is, it's so retarded that you really don't know who is for or who is against Trump. Like, we could look at the general public and we can see how many people are for Trump. We can see that because they do what they do. But when it comes to those damn politicians down the street in DC, you really can't tell who is for him or who's against him, because again, like one of my coworkers was saying, them damn Republicans who are acting like they're behind the side can be the ones that are all for this going down. And they just, like you said, watch what my right hand is doing. Don't worry about my left. They could be all for him getting indicted and arrested because that'll get rid of him. But in public, they're saying, oh, that's so wrong. Oh, that's wrong. That's this, that's that. But to veer a little off of that,
all right,
because this plays into, this whole topic. My thing about that is these people who are rooting for Trump, and it goes along with the racism part that I was talking about.
Right.
These people out here who saying this is so wrong that they're going after Trump, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Why don't y'all have that same goddamn energy when it comes to black and brown people? Because, a lot of our people get hemmed up on trumped up charges, but nobody's making that much noise about them. But soon as it's him, oh, that's so wrong. That's this, that's that, the justice system, this and this. And it's like, yo, little Junebug was riding down the street and they said he had a gun in his car, but he didn't have a gun in his car. Ain't none of y'all riding for him like that.
It's a little Junebug.
Help me understand. You gotta help me understand right now.
Oh.
They don't have that same energy.
No, hell no. No, he looks like us. I can't have that kind of emotion worried about us.
Yeah, and then when you ask them about their position, it's, oh this that it's like, nah. It doesn't matter if he was the president. It doesn't matter that it's the Democrats going after him. It doesn't matter that this state is going after him. It's a lot of people in this world, especially those that look like us, who get treated the same way, and they pat them on their ass and say, go take your punishment. Yeah. So
it just seems to me, though, and I've said it a 1,000 times if I said it once, I think that we're all being played like chess pieces here. As long as we are divided, the powers that be will continue to do what the hell it is that they want to do. But as long as we stay on this individual shit, because you're a Christian and I'm a Muslim and so on and so forth, you're gay and I'm straight, you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican. It's just like taking candy away from a baby.
You said taking what?
Candy away from a baby.
Look here. This entire world is based on division. No matter how you slice the pie, it's based on division. Like you were saying, gay, straight, black, white, Christian, whatever, Democrat, Republican, Ford, Mercedes, wheat bread, white bread. This whole thing is based on division. It's just a matter of people not using common sense to find balance amongst that division. That's my opinion.
I can agree with that statement, sir. Because a lot of it does come down to just straight common sense.
Yeah.
And that right now is a very elusive commodity for some people, whether that be by choice or they just don't give a damn. Common sense just isn't so common anymore.
It's not.
But I don't know. That's pretty much all I got, sir. That's all I got. And I know people probably would say, man, I want y'all to go deeper on the conversation, but
hey, there's always another time.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. But the last thing I want to say though before we get up off of here is and I was saying racism is stupid.
Yeah.
Um, and I need somebody with common sense and without common sense to break down racism to me, because the one thing that I swear it racks my brain when I see people of whatever ethnic background
Hmm.
disliking someone from another ethnic background when you use products, services, or whatever that is touched from by someone of a different background of yours and one that you claim to hate. And it makes me wonder why people subscribe to this ridiculous ideology, especially when you have Caucasians not liking black people, but if they're on their favorite basketball team, football team, or whatever, that's my guy. It's like, really? But I thought you hate them. Like,
Yeah.
but I thought you hate them. And then you have our people like, oh, I don't mess with that person, this, that, and the other. But you won't go to the corner store, but you'll go to their store. But I thought you hate them.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I'll just add a little bit on to that. My thing is this, right? I'm I don't have the energy to hate somebody because they're different than me. Um, I love all people. I don't give a damn what your sexual orientation is, what your religious beliefs are. None of that makes a hell of a bean to me. I love all people, except for some of the corrupt people, but that's a whole nother story for a whole different day.
Mm.
But when people have that mentality to hate someone simply because they're different than them, I think that's the dumbest thing, like you said, ever. And you as an individual, like how can you dedicate that type of energy to hate someone you don't even know a damn thing about?
Not and not to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
how do you find the energy to teach your kids to do that?
Yes, that part. Like that's one of the things about growing up as a military brat that I am so grateful for. So grateful for. Because our parents were under the mindset of one for all and all for one. And they didn't
Most
give a
of them were.
damn. Well, true. It didn't give a damn what your skin color was. Because some of my dad's closest friends were white, Hispanic, Chinese, or I mean the list goes on and on. Throughout his career, man, I cannot tell you how many different nationalities, we came in contact with, and we were friends. Some of us we could even say family. So that is one thing I am so grateful for. Growing up as a military brat, and I'm sure I can speak for a lot of other military brats. Maybe not all, but a lot of them. That is one blessing that I'm sure none of us will ever want to take back or give back.
Yep.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, um, just think for yourself, man. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I got, sir.
I'm gonna say think for yourself and just pay attention to your surroundings.
Mm.
I mean,
Please do that
it's
part.
cliche, but when I say pay attention to your surroundings, I mean everything.
Heck yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, all that.
Yes, sir.
Because the minute that you're not paying attention to what you need to be paying attention to, something's gonna happen over here. And I will agree with Sun Solex. There is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. that we don't pay attention to because we're distracted. But distraction is a choice. It is a choice. Trust me, it's a choice. Um, and people get themselves caught up because they choose to be distracted, choose to ignore stuff, the obvious. And when you ignore the obvious for too long, in certain situations, not what Sun Soul X was talking about, but in certain situations, when you ignore the obvious so long, you think everything is a setup. Now, Sun Soul X is correct. There are some setups out there, but I'm not talking about what he's talking about. I'm talking about the people who choose to be distracted, choose to ignore the obvious because they're ignorant. It's out of ignorance. But that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got.
For sure. So again, we want to thank you guys and you ladies for joining the King and I Life podcast. We are definitely trying to get back in sync
Yeah.
like we were. But again, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, we all have things going on. Not only me and Soul Toucher, but I'm sure you all as well. So we're going to get there. Just bear with us. And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. King and I Life podcast. We out.
Deuces to the truces.